Have you ever wondered what happens when an empire's most powerful weapon simply vanishes? Entire Roman legions, thousands of elite soldiers erased from existence. No survivors, no graves, no answers. How could the world's greatest military machine lose entire armies and never recover them? Tonight, we uncover the truth behind Rome's lost legions. For centuries, the Roman legion was the most feared and respected fighting force on earth, a symbol of order, discipline, and imperial power that carved an empire stretching from the sands of Africa to the misty shores of Britain. Each legion was more than a military unit. It was Rome itself, marching in steel and silence. To lose one was unthinkable. To lose several was a wound to the empire's very soul. When a legion disappeared, it wasn't just a tactical loss. It was an institutional trauma that haunted Rome for generations, a phantom limb of the empire, a painful reminder of what had been lost. Today, we'll explore two of the most haunting stories in Roman history. First, the total annihilation of 3 legions in a single, catastrophic battle deep in the forests of Germania. Then, the chilling mystery of the Ninth Legion, an entire army that didn't die in battle but simply vanished from history. These are not just tales of defeat, but windows into the limits of power and the scars that never heal. Our story begins in the dark, foreboding woods of northern Germania. It is the year 9 AD. Emperor Augustus has united the Roman world under one rule, and now seeks to push his frontier eastward, from the Rhine River to the Elbe. It was not merely conquest, but a vision to civilize what Rome saw as a barbarian frontier. The man chosen to oversee this transformation was Publius Quinctilius Varus, experienced, confident, and utterly unaware of the storm waiting in the trees. Among his allies was a young Germanic noble named Arminius, a trusted commander of auxiliary forces and, ironically, a Roman citizen trained in the empire's own tactics. He knew Rome's formations, its psychology, and, most importantly, its blind spots. In September of AD 9, Arminius played his hand. He delivered false reports of a local uprising, urging Varus to march east to quell the unrest. Trusting his loyal ally, Varus led 3 full legions, Legio XVI, XVIII, and XIX, along with cavalry and auxiliaries into the heart of the Teutoburg Forest. It was a fatal decision. The terrain was treacherous, narrow trails, endless rain, and thick forest that broke formation and spirit alike. Then the trap closed. Germanic tribes, united under Arminius, struck from all sides. The disciplined Roman line dissolved into chaos. For 3 relentless days they fought and died amid mud, trees, and terror. When the rain ceased, the legions were gone. 20,000 men lay dead. Varus took his own life. The sacred legionary eagles, the aquilae, were seized as trophies. News of the disaster reached Rome like thunder. Emperor Augustus is said to have torn his robes and cried out, "Quintili vare legiones reda." Varus, give me back my legions, but they would never return. For centuries, the Varian disaster lived only in the writings of Roman historians like Tacitus and Cassius Dio. Then, nearly 2 millennia later, archaeology brought the story back to life. In 1987, near Kalkriese in northern Germany, excavations revealed more than 7,000 Roman artifacts, coins, weapons, armor fragments, and even personal belongings of fallen soldiers. Chemical analysis revealed a remarkable detail. Each legion's equipment bore a unique metallurgical signature, formed by the specific ores and tools used in their workshops. Artifacts from Kalkriese match the chemical fingerprint of items from Legio Deintenorum, S, known base at Dangstetten in southern Germany. Science had done what legend could not. It confirmed the battlefield of annihilation. The psychological impact on Rome was immense. The grand dream of an empire stretching to the Elbe collapsed overnight. Rome pulled back behind the Rhine and would never again attempt full conquest of Germania. For 400 years, that river remained the empire's northern wall. Even more telling was what came next. The numbers 17, Diorst, and 19 were permanently retired. No future legions would bear them. To the Roman mind, they were cursed. Their absence became a silent memorial, an official scar on the empire's record. If the Varian disaster was a lightning strike, the story of the Ninth Legion is a slow fade into darkness. Legionime Hispana. The Spanish Ninth was one of Rome's oldest and most decorated units, forged by Julius Caesar himself. It fought in Gaul, served in Spain, and later helped conquer Britain under Emperor Claudius. For decades it defended the empire's farthest frontier, garrisoned in York, Eboracum, keeping the northern tribes at bay. Then, after around AD 120, the record goes silent. No orders, no promotions, no inscriptions. The Ninth simply disappears from history. It is as if an entire army stepped into the mist and never returned. What happened? The most romantic theory claims the legion was ambushed in northern Britain. Marching north into Caledonia, modern-day Scotland, they were surrounded and slaughtered by tribal warriors. It's a haunting image that inspired novels and films, like The Eagle of the Ninth. But as gripping as it is, archaeology doesn't support it. A more likely explanation is that the Ninth was transferred eastward. From Britain to the turbulent provinces of the empire, perhaps to Judea during the Bar Kokhba revolt, 132-135 AD, or to Armenia, where Cassius Dio records a Roman legion utterly destroyed by the Parthians in AD 161. He wrote, "They surrounded the Roman legion, cut them down, and destroyed them, their leader and all." Many historians believe that nameless legion could have been the Ninth Hispana. The evidence is maddeningly fragmentary. Inscriptions from York prove the Ninth's presence in Britain early in the 2nd century, while tombstones found in the Netherlands hint that parts of it may have been reassigned to the Rhine frontier. Yet none of this explains the silence that follows. Rome's records are full of victories, but silent about shame. When a legion was destroyed, chroniclers often omitted it entirely. As historian Lawrence Keppy noted, the strongest evidence for the Ninth's destruction may be its absence. That epigraphic silence speaks louder than words, a bureaucratic erasure meant to hide humiliation. Without a battlefield like Kalkriese to mark its fall, the fate of Legionime Hispana remains one of antiquity's greatest unsolved mysteries. The destruction of the Varian legions and the disappearance of the Ninth reveal the same truth. Even the greatest empire on earth had limits. Rome could conquer nations, but not chaos. It could build walls, but not erase fear. The Varian disaster was a cataclysm that shattered illusions of invincibility. It forced Rome to retreat, to fortify rather than expand. In contrast, the quiet vanishing of the Ninth exposed another side of empire, the slow attrition of endless wars where men disappeared not in glory but in silence. Together they form the phantom limbs of Roman power, proof that the mightiest legions could fall and that the empire's reach was never absolute. These scars changed everything. After Teutoburg, emperors no longer dreamed of endless conquest. The focus turned inward, to defense, walls, and survival. The same army that once embodied eternal victory became a monument to human fragility. From the rain-soaked forests of Teutoburg to the fog-shrouded hills of Britain, the ghosts of Rome's legions still march in silence. They remind us that no empire, no matter how mighty, is immune to time, betrayal, or the quiet erosion of memory. Power fades, glory crumbles, but the echo of loss endures. And in those echoes, in the phantom limbs of Rome's army, we hear the heartbeat of history itself. Thank you for watching. If this story intrigued you, hit like, subscribe, and tell me which ancient mystery you'd like to see next. Until then, stay curious. The visuals within this presentation are crafted to enrich your understanding, serving as artistic interpretations and contextual aids rather than direct factual representations. Their purpose is to illuminate the narrative and deepen your engagement with the historical backdrop. Join our growing community of history enthusiasts. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support keeps history alive.